Peter Mayen, Majungdit. Currently, I'm the National Minister in the Republic of South Sudan and also the current chairpersons of the People's Liberal Party, the leader of the 10 coalition of the 10 political parties that is known as Umbrella. And I'm part and stakeholders, party to the agreement, signatories to South Sudan peace agreements that gave birth to today known as the Reformist Governments of National Unity. Having been born into a family of my both parents were teachers, and of course the war wrapped in the country since 1983. So my parents decided that we need to seek refuge, and we seek refuge in Kenya, and that happens. I came to Kenya on December 18, 1998. When I came to Kenya, I registered as a refugee in Kakuma camp. However, the education opportunities were not there because I had already set for my secondary school certificate, and in that view, I had decided to look for better opportunities. Of course, I have come as a grown-up man at the age of over 18 by that year. Alafu wakati nilikuja, I decided to look for better opportunities, and I moved from Kakuma camp to Lodwar. My first job was a shepherd. Nilikuwa nalinda mang'ombe. So I happened to meet Lomecho and Rachel. They were medical officers and I was a young man. So they hosted me in their family and I stayed with them, and I was keeping their goats, their cows. And of course, as I come from a background of a community that are actually wanalinda ng'ombe, pale nilikuwa nalinda ng'ombe. Sasa niliishi Lodwar kwa wakati fulani, mpaka wakati huu nilikuwa ninakula vizuri na nilikuwa ninaishi vizuri, lakini kazi yangu ni kulima ng'ombe mpaka wakati Lomochi ameanza kupata kazi. Alitoka Lodwar akaenda mpaka aliletwa hapa Nairobi for training, and in that way I was not really getting enough services. Sasa pale nianza kuamua, niliamua kukuja mpaka Kapenguria. Kapenguria nilipata beste yangu alikuwa anaitwa tuliishi na yeye. Of course, he was by then newly married, and I was at 21 years by then. And what happened is that he had a matatu. So he used to drive matatu, and I was his tally boy. So we'd move from Kapenguria to Kitalia to Eldoret, to anywhere, which was a very rare opportunity for any refugee South Sudanese to do that kind of job. While I was a tally boy, so we would come Kapenguria, Kitalia, mpaka Webuye, alafu tukirudi jioni. I came one day and then I started playing in Katali, that is Katali Stadium. And this is where Katali FC used to do their training. So quickly the coach saw the talent in me and admitted me, and it was the nationwide. And this is how I came. So during the day, I would do my job as tally boy. In the evening, I go for matches, and of course, my friend was really very good with me. Is whenever I go, we travel any part in Kenya. It was a nationwide, so we used to travel all across over Kenya, and I would play there. And thereafter, of course, before Mumias Sugar Football FC signed me, I played for Mumias, and I also played for AFC Leopards, and I also played for Walhopt in Nairobi here. I remember our tough days when I was in Kenya Premier League, when we used to play against Oliech I remember Oliej very well. His brother used to play for Tusker, while I used to play for FC Leopards. I also shortly played for Kawangware FC. Back when I came to Kitalia, I stayed in Kitalia. I played for Kitalia FC. I was a tally boy, and of course, now again, there was a family problem between the family that was hosting me, so they decided to leave, and I was stranded. And then also our business, also the car broke down where I was doing the tally boy, and then there was also differences between me and the coach. The coach wanted me to move to Gor Mahia, and I said no, I still need to go back. So I moved from there. I came to stay a short while in Kiminini. I stayed in Kiminini with Mama Alice. She was a widow, a single mother, and we started a very quick and a small business with her. And the business was really productive. So we used to sell small food alongside the street. I can really remember that place very well. And our business was doing very well. She was looking for an honest person. So I used to sell everything as a very good waiter boy, and then make sure whatever money comes. When she comes back in the evening, she was a teacher too, just like my own mother. So I would give her everything. So we stayed very, very well. Finally, she decided, she told me, look here, now, since you have finished secondary school in South Sudan, you need to resit for Kenya exams so that you can have a better future. And I told her what of course, she's a Luya. She comes from she come from the other side of Luya. Hapa walikuwa Wabukusi, lakini yeye alikuwa Morogoli. Sasa alisema tuende Vihiga, so she did arrange for me to move to Vihiga. And of course, also in Vihiga, I played football for Vihiga FC, but it was not my standard, but I used to score a lot, so it was good. So I went to Vihiga High School, and it was not easy to get that kind of admissions, so I studied there in Vihiga High School, nilisoma pale, na huko baada ya kumaliza kazi pale, this is when I also get my first official job signed by the UNEPA, United Nations Environment Programs. Sasa I was posted, kutoka pale I was posted up to Ukambani, that is actually Kitui, not only yes Kitui, uko a place when I went to Kwazombe. I was in Kwazombe. So I stayed there, and I landed Kikamba there, and then pale niliishi. I think I nearly felt nobody. In fact, people have forgotten about me, because huwezi upata Musudi pale. You cannot get a South Sudanese in those days there, and not only any foreigner, you cannot get them there. And so we were real Kambas, you know. So after that, this is where now I eventually came to Nairobi, because my contract has ended, and then my father was sick. By then my father was already here in Nairobi, and I lost my father in 2004, 18 of May. However, before he died, he told me, look, yes, I may have resources, but I don't want to leave you with a single resource. I want to leave you with my brain. And he said, South Sudan is going to be at peace. And that was a year before we signed the comprehensive peace agreement. So he told me, go back home, I'm leaving you with nothing but only my brain. I never wanted to be a politician. Neither did I even thought of being a politician. A year thereafter, when I left to South Sudan, the first year I participated in restructuring and reorganizations of the transition period in Rumbek. But I went on playing my soccer as well. So I had the first cup in South Sudan in 2005. I had the privilege to win that cup and lift up that cup. And again, my wife had the privilege to win the first women football cup ever. So these are the two cups we have won. What happened is, when the inspiration and expectation of South Sudanese were never met, this is now when I decided to create that future and choose the brain. But I have to come back again to the Murumundus back here in Kenya. In both of my life, where I worked as a chef, worked as a waiter, played football, and also worked as an environment officer in Ukambani. All of these have taught me something. When I came back again to Nairobi, and I studied at Nairobi University and the Catholic University, it was a time when we had the transition of Kenya. You know, this is during those days when Kano was first knocked out with the Rainbow Coalition. And we were just looking, just like anybody watching from the street. We saw the transitions, we saw how the future moved on. But never did realize that the history perhaps may repeat itself, not here in Kenya, but even in the Republic of South Sudan. So, of course, like any other human being, I had made mistakes in life. Like any other human being, I have made success in life. I had Kenyan friends that were here with me, and I had also Kenyan girlfriends that were here with me. So I had also people that I really appreciate them in Kenya, because nimeishi hapa, sijaishi kama mkimbizi tu, niliishi kama Mkenya. Na unajua hata Wasudani wengine walikuwa wanauliza, wewe ni Msudi kweli? Na wauliza, mimi si Msudi. Sometimes I lie to them, nawaambia mimi ni Mluya, sometimes mimi ni Luya, sometimes mimi ni Mkamba, bore tu. So that was the real story. Yes, life is indeed a tough way and a rough way to go. But never undermine yourself. Be determined. As my father said, use your brain, tumia akili yako. Now, anybody can be anything. And I think that is the real story. Kwa hivyo naweza kumaliza kusema, nimejifunza mingi sana tangu niliingia hapa Kenya nikiwa mkimbizi, na maisha ambayo nimepitia, na ningependa kusalimia rafiki zangu ambaye walinisaidia kwa maisha yangu. Na bado hata nikiwa waziri, si ndio mwisho wa mambo. Maisha, the future still might more greater than what is necessary. Of course, mimi, I'm not in position to take my father away from Kenya where he is buried. My father will always be here, we shall always be here. And of course, we deserve all rights. Given the fact, the work I've done to the ordinary citizens of Kenya, from shepherding their goats, their cows, being their tally boys, playing the soccer, I love Kenya. Asanteni sana, ninapenda Kenya sana.